Alright, what's good everybody? It's your boy Keenan. Welcome to today's vlog. I would like to humbly apologize for some of the mistakes that I had on Monday's video featuring the SEC Conference preview. I made a couple of big mistakes and I did not mention a couple of key factors on that video. One of my mistakes was that I mentioned Isaiah Crowell for the Georgia Bulldogs and I forgot that he was just recently dismissed and decided to transfer to Alabama State. That was my bad and my mistake, and I would like to apologize to everybody. I also did not mention enough freshmen coming in to the SEC Conference, this great dynamic league. Also, I did not give you, and last but not least, I did not give you my sleeper for the SEC Conference, and I want to make those corrections with today's blog. Now, I mentioned Isaiah Crowell being dismissed from the team and transferring to Alabama State, but Georgia still picked up a good running back and tailback, Keith Marshall. He weighs 202 pounds at 5'11". This kid has good size, and he's a change of pace type of running back, and I think he could work well with Carlton Thomas and Brandon Harton in that rotation for the running back position. But I believe the ball is going to be put in Marshall's hands right away as a true freshman. Now, a couple other incoming freshmen coming into the SEC Conference that I did not mention, starting for Ryan Anderson. He's a good outside linebacker. He's heading to Tuscaloosa to play for the Crimson Tide, and they desperately needed some linebackers because both Dante Hightower and the great Courtney Upshaw left for the National Football League, and they needed a couple of players to fill in those voids. And Ryan Anderson is a great outside linebacker. He posted 14 and a half sacks as a senior, and he's looking to do the same, playing enough as a true freshman and getting some reps for that linebacker core for the Crimson Tide defense, who is rebuilding because they had a couple of losses in last year's NFL draft. A couple of other players we need to talk about for the SEC Conference freshmen. Two offensive linemen I need to mention. DJ Humphries, he enrolled to Florida. This kid is one of the top 5 linemen in coming out of high school, and he's a great blocker. He has tremendous strength at 272 pounds. Yes, he does need to add on to the weight because the SEC Conference is grudge. It is more bigger, more NFL ready type players in this conference, and this is going to be a competitive year. He does need to bulk up, but he still has tremendous strength, and I think he's going to work well in that Florida offensive line. Also, another offensive tackle, John Theus, he's going to Athens, and this could be a good heads up for the Georgia Bulldogs because do not underestimate this kid at 295 pounds. Don't be surprised if he plays right away as a true freshman, blocking for Aaron Murray and open up holes for all the running backs for the Georgia Bulldogs and Athens. This kid is a great player, and I think he can start right away. We will see, but don't be surprised if he does start for this Georgia Bulldog offense. And that's pretty much all I have to say about the true freshman coming into this year. But I still believe that Dorio Green Beckham, he's going to be that top incoming freshman coming into the SEC Conference. But also, I made a little bit of a mistake. I mentioned that Dorio Beckham is going to be my SEC newcomer of the year, but I forgot to mention that I forgot to think about both Texas A&M and Missouri just joined the SEC Conference, and they have a couple of star players on both of those teams, particularly James Franklin for the Missouri Tigers. This kid is a tremendous passer, and with having Beckham into that lineup as another target, I believe that Franklin will progress this year and receive better results as a quarterback, and he already had a great season last year as a dual threat quarterback, and I think he could do well in the SEC Conference. So I'm going to change my newcomer player of the year to James Franklin, the quarterback for the Missouri Tigers. Now, last but not least, my sleeper for the SEC Conference, I'm going to have to go with Vanderbilt Commodores. This team, they went 6-7 last season and missed and had a chance of beating a couple of tough teams like Arkansas. Now, this year, they have a favorable SEC schedule because they're not playing the top powerhouse teams of this conference: Alabama, Arkansas, and LSU. So I think they could use that into their favor and probably sneak their way to the SEC championship. I doubt they'll make it to that championship, but like I said, they're my sleeper. I do believe in their quarterback, Jordan Rodgers. He's the younger brother of Aaron Rodgers. I think he can develop to become a better quarterback, and he has a couple of young receivers in Jordan Matthews and Chris Boyd in that as a couple of targets for him to throw to, and I think both of these players can develop to have breakthrough seasons this year as well. And I did not mention them as my breakout performers for my SEC preview, so I wanted to mention both Jordan Matthews and Chris Boyd. Now, on the the defensive side, they were actually 29th in the nation, giving up 21.5 points per game, and they lost a great cornerback in Casey Hayward. He had 7 interceptions last season, so they're looking toward Trey Wilson, who had 3 interceptions last year, to step up this year and be that vocal leader for the secondary. Now, they have a couple of good linebackers in Archibald Barnes. He's a decent linebacker. They also have the return of Chris Marv, who had 92 tackles last season and a couple of sacks. Also, they have a good defensive tackle in Rob Lure. He had over 5 sacks last season as a defensive tackle, and I think to go along with 41 tackles. And I really think with this defense develop, if they step up just a little bit and help out that offense, the Commodores can sneak their way to the SEC championship. And I really think this team can get everything together and at least spoil somebody's season. And I really think because they don't have to play some of the top teams like Arkansas, LSU, and Alabama, this could be a good favor for the Commodores. So I'm going to have to go with Vanderbilt for the SEC sleeper of the 2012 year. Now, like I said, I'm going to catch you guys tomorrow, Monday, to give you a preview of the Big East Conference. Thank you for watching today's vlog from Franchise Sports Talk. I'm your man, Akeem McCall. Be easy.